Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I want to tell you a story that has been bothering me for many years. It keeps me awake at night and makes me dig through archives and records until morning. It happened a long time ago, when I was in law school. It was a fun time, yes. However, this story is not about my college years, but about my classmate. More specifically, what happened to him. He was a funny guy. Always joking, always goofing around. He had a natural sense of humor. But a few months before it happened, we started noticing that he was joking through his strength, as if he couldn't do it anymore. It's like the guy doesn't want to make a joke, but he keeps going, with tension, with desperation. Like he doesn't want anyone to notice that there's something wrong with him. We noticed. But we kids weren't paying attention. The man had changed, that's all. And he didn't say anything, no matter how much we pestered him. He was stubborn. He was. One day he didn't come to the institute. The next day he didn't show up again, and the next day too. Then my friends and I decided to find out if he was okay, if he needed help. So we did, but we were too late. The door to the apartment was unlocked, and we entered his house unobstructed. I'm not ashamed to admit that I parted with the contents of my stomach as soon as I stepped over the threshold and saw what was going on in his room. His head was lying on the floor at the entrance to the corridor, his film-covered eyes staring toward the door. Pieces of his body were lying around. A finger, another finger, a piece of meat with a piece of bone sticking out of it. The intestines were neatly unwrapped and hung around the room like Christmas lights on a Christmas tree. And all the walls were covered with dozens of bloody palm prints. As it turned out later, all the prints belonged to him. Whoever had done this atrocity to him was alive during the whole trial. Fighting. Or rather, tried to fight. And that was the end of it. There was a further investigation. Very brief, which is not surprising. The guy was a drug addict. They blamed it on the gang, tried to find contacts, but nothing worked. One more unsolved case and it went into the archives. That's it. Everybody forgot about it. But I hadn't forgotten. I just couldn't. I graduated and got a job with the police. I got promoted to detective. And I pulled this case out of the archives. The conclusion was that the poor man had not been cut into pieces, but torn to pieces. With his bare hands he had been torn into many unsavory pieces. The story is isn't it? But that's not all. There was a diary attached to the evidence. It was covered in so much blood that I couldn't believe it. Most of the text was completely unreadable, and what could be read was outright nonsense from a certain point. And that moment began when he met some guy in a bar. The guy, as the author of the diary himself described him, was kind of weird and twitchy. But they got to talking, had a few drinks, joked around. And, apparently, the guy liked him so much with his jokes that the stranger offered to be his jester. Yes, that's right.
You're a jolly friend, come and join me as a jester.
The author of the diary was drunk and agreed, which he soon regretted. The stranger turned out to be an unusual guy. The rest I read in bits and pieces that I could make out. It turned out that this stranger had begun to appear to him at night in dark corners. And in his nightmares. He kept demanding to be entertained. And the author succeeded until the last moment. And here's the last entry, sort of dated the day of death, if the report is true, and I could make out the numbers correctly. It is complete nonsense, with occasional glimmers of meaning.
Broken. Ruined. The joke is not funny. And the shadows, and the scraping of the ceiling. Why are you looking at me? What are you looking at? Take the shadows away. Take them away. Take them away. Take them away. Where did you come from? Don't knock. I won't let you in. He said he was going to rip my head off and decorate my room. Not a funny joke. Not funny. The joke is not funny. Not lying. Said I'd appreciate it. It hurts. It hurts, motherfucker. Get away from me. Get the shadows away from me. Get it away from me. He said it's time. He said drop it. I'll throw it. I'll throw it at you. I'll throw that notebook at you.
And that's all there was at the end of the notes. I don't know, maybe it was a showdown, of course. But to tear a man apart like that, who would you have to be? And I knew him pretty well. Yes, he smoked pot, but who wasn't a student? But for pot to make a healthy person go crazy like that, I don't believe that. So now I'm sitting here looking through old hang-ups in the archives. Maybe there was something else out there like this. I'm scared, but curiosity is stronger. Maybe our guy wasn't the only one who worked as a buffoon for this creep. And maybe there's more than one such case in the archives.